Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
He's laughing his sick fucking ass off. He's a tight ass. He's a sadist.
Okay, when I introduce you, I'm gonna say, this is a friend of mine. That means you're a connected guy. Now, if I said instead, this is a friend of ours, that would mean you were a made guy. A capiche?
Boys, we're back in business.
Our true enemy has not yet shown his face.
Brother, you are going down.
Hooah!
God damn it! What did you do to my wife?
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most depraved act of sexual theater known to man, 1 being your average Friday night run-through at the Lomax's household, I'd say, not to be immodest, Marianne and I got it on at about 7.
Fuck you! Oh, got me! Got me! Yes! Wow! Oh, yes! Yeah! Step on up, son! Come on, that's good!
Hey everyone, this is Jeff, aka 101 Bronson, back again with another installment of my Al Pacino review series. The only review series on YouTube covering every movie of Al Pacino's legendary career. This is episode 14 of the 2nd season, and today we're covering another great movie from 1997. It's The Devil's Advocate, directed by Taylor Hackford, starring Al Pacino, of course, Keanu Reeves, Charlize Theron, Jeffrey Jones, Craig D. Nelson, and Connie Nielsen, among others. And it's sort of this legal thriller drama with some horror, mystery, and fantasy elements thrown in. So yeah, it's a little cross of a couple of things, I would say. But it's a really good film, and one that's, you know, very well remembered in Pacino's filmography among his fans, because it's a pretty iconic role. I don't know if it's spoilery to say it by this point, because, of course, you know, people know of this movie's existence, and you know, it's the same age as me. It's 27 years old, but I mean, the film is called The Devil's Advocate, and it is Al Pacino that plays Satan himself in this movie. I think it's general knowledge anyway. I mean, the movie's called The Devil's Advocate. If you look at the cover and stuff for the DVDs and Blu-rays and whatever, and you know, I think it's obvious, isn't it, that it's Pacino that's the titular devil of this film. And I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a spoiler, I don't know. If it is, I'm sorry, but I mean, Pacino is Pacino's Satan himself in this movie, and boy oh boy, his performance is absolutely fantastic and deliciously evil, dare I say devilishly.
Oh my god.
Sorry. Anyway, let's take a look at 1997's The Devil's Advocate and get this review started, shall we? Here we go.
Vanity is definitely my favorite sin.
The plot of the movie goes as follows. Defense attorney Kevin Lomax, played by Keanu Reeves, has never lost a single case. He's invited to New York City to work for a big law firm ruled by senior board member John Milton, played by Al Pacino, who showers him with wealth and feeds his vanity. Kevin's wife Marianne, played by Charlize Theron, just wants to have a baby and is distressed by Kevin always being on the case and never at home. She starts to lose her grip on reality, or so it seems. Kevin finds himself on the receiving end of even more trouble when his boss turns out to be the devil himself, who has some treacherous plans up his sleeve for Kevin. Keanu Reeves as the main character does a solid job here, I must say. Admittedly, I've never been the biggest fan of Reeves as an actor, but this is one of the handful of performances where I think he delivers a credible one. As a person, I admire and respect Reeves quite a bit, but let's be honest, he isn't the greatest thespian. Kudos to him though for holding his own on screen opposite Pacino. The final scene and showdown between them is very well acted by Keanu Reeves and would definitely be my favorite scene for his character. Having said that though, it is without doubt Al Pacino who is the wonderful superglue, let's say, holding this whole thing together and absolutely knocks it out of the park every scene he is in. Definitely a scene-stealing performance. He is firing at all possible cylinders and then some. I know this is one people go to when they say Pacino is the shouty, over-the-top type of actor, and I can't blame them, but it's just so much fun to watch him in this, it honestly is. It's a stellar and delightful performance, and one can tell Pacino really had fun with this one. Of all the wonderful actors who have played the devil over the years, like De Niro in Angel Heart, Nicholson in Witches of Eastwick, Gabriel Byrne in End of Days even, just to name some of my favorites. Pacino has got to be head and shoulders above them for me. I mean, truly one of his best and iconic performances for sure. Charlize Theron I really like as an actress as well, and she does a fantastic job in this movie as Kevin's young, naive and paranoid wife. Her character in particular really goes through a lot of crap in this movie, and she really sells her role effortlessly in my opinion. Very credible and very believable performance. The rest of the supporting cast are great as well, with special mention for Connie Nielsen, who was really great to see, and also Craig T. Nelson, who played opposite Pacino previously in the 1979 courtroom drama And Justice for All. Story and dialogue are on point, and the soundtrack by James Newton Howard is very eerie and very memorable. The film has a couple of CGI special effects, but these to me haven't dated as much, to be fair, and look pretty decent for the most part. The movie is shot very well, and Taylor Hackford does a great job in tightly directing the film and moves the piece along at a good pace. Overall, not too many negatives on my end, yet another big hitter in Pacino's filmography, I would say. The movie made on an estimated budget of $57 million, ended up making about $153 million worldwide, with audiences and critics' reception being generally positive. As for me, I give the film a solid 8-star rating out of 10, and I will say for those that haven't seen it yet, once again, it is highly recommended to check out. And that's that. So there you guys have it. That was my review for 1997's The Devil's Advocate, and like I said, it's a fantastic movie. It's a big hitter in Pacino's filmography for sure. 8 stars out of 10 for me. It's so much fun to watch Pacino embellish in this role. It's so captivating, and like I said, the final sort of confrontation between Keanu Reeves' character and Pacino, of course, it's so fantastic. And as good as Keanu Reeves is in that scene, Pacino steps in and just shows everybody how it's done, you know, if that makes sense. It's the speech he gives, you know, it's so iconic. I said it before, I'll say it again. I'll probably say it in a few more episodes time as well when we get to another film that has a classic speech of Pacino. But Pacino and speeches, they go together like, well, like anything really. Pacino and speeches are made for each other is what I mean to say. Yeah, no, direction as well, great cinematography, despite, you know, having some CGI effects, you know, and 90s CGI effects, they still, I think, hold up and they still look pretty good. I'm not a big advocate, pun unintended, for CGI and stuff, but I get, you know, in this movie with some of the creature designs and stuff like that, and some of the wacky things that they had to do, I get why they resort to CGI. I think it's also a little CGI blended with practical, which always works as well. So yeah, I mean, no real complaints. Charlize Theron, I think, does a fantastic job in this one. Probably one of my favorite performances of hers. Craig T. Nelson, like I said, he's always a great reliable villain. He has a face for it. He was a villain in Action Jackson with Carl Weathers. He did a great job there. He previously appeared with Pacino in Justice for All in 1979. So yeah, the cast and crew and everything is top-notch in this film. Great script, great dialogue. Music by James Newton Howard is fantastic. And the movie ends on one of my favorite songs of all time in the end credits, you know, Painted Black by the Rolling Stones. I mean, I love the Rolling Stones and I love that song. And I mean, there's Beatles fans and there's Rolling Stones fans. I'm definitely a Stones guy myself. Don't get me wrong, I love plenty of songs with the Beatles, but give me the Rolling Stones over the Beatles any day for me. I love that song, Painted Black. You know, and it matches, you know, with the end credits and stuff, and it's fantastic. So yeah, enough gushing on this film on my end. I would say I'd say it's time to wrap it up, and I would say it's time to introduce the film for next week. Next week, we are going to 1999. We are skipping 1998 because, of course, Pacino did 2 films in 97. Busy year, so we didn't have anything in 98, but we had 2 films once again in 1999, which will be the last 2 episodes of this season, I should add. So next week, the penultimate review of this season will be 1999's The Insider, directed by Michael Mann, starring Al Pacino and Russell Crowe. And to be honest with you, to be quite frank with you, this review for The Insider might go one or two ways. I might end up really loving this and praising this, or I might, or it might be a slightly, don't want to say hateful review or anything, more, well, not a raving review, I guess, is sort of where I'm going at. This might go, I'm going to praise it, or I'm going to not like it as much, because this is not one of my most watched Pacino films, I gotta be honest with you. it's not one of my most watched ones. I know it's Michael Mann, you know, he directed him in Heat, of course, and Russell Crowe is fantastic in this and has a great supporting cast. You know, I'm just looking at the back here. Christopher Plummer, Gina Gershon is in this. Diane Venora, who was also in Heat. And I remember liking a lot of, you know, what Pacino did in this film, and his performance is not going to be a thing I'm going to fault with it for sure. But the way I remember it, I remember this being quite boring, if that makes sense. I remember this being sort of mispaced for me. A complaint, admittedly, that I had for years with Heat. I felt that Heat was too long, and that has grown on me. So I'm not saying I'm gonna stand by this as a boring film, it's too long and stuff. It might grow on me and I might like it now upon rewatching it. But that's what I remember. I remember sort of thinking this is a bit boring, a bit sort of long-winded, a little slow pace, too slow pace and stuff. So we'll see next week how we'll feel. I'm actually excited to dive back into this film. It's been years since I watched it. I've pretty much only watched it twice, maybe, if that. Again, for some reason, it just never spoke to me. But again, I should have maybe, you know, the last time I watched it, I was in my teens, I think. I was 15, 16, something like that. Of course, I'm now 27, although I don't look it. I'm a bit more mature. Well, that's what they say anyway. Maybe I'll appreciate the movie more. We'll see. Or maybe I won't. You know, regardless, it's going to be Michael Mann's The Insider next week, so join me for that one. I hope you all enjoyed this review. Thank you all so much for watching, as always. Yeah, stay tuned for more. Stay safe and healthy, and keep punching. I'll see you next week for The Insider. Take care, everyone. Hooah!
Never lost a case.
Why do you think?
Because you're so fucking good.
Yeah?
But why?
Because you're my father.
I'm a little more than that, Kevin.
What are you?
Oh, I have so many names.
See.
Call me Dad.